I'm Rachel. I'm the operations manager at Intelisense. Started my career a long time ago as an apprentice. So I worked full-time in a company and part-time I did qualifications, which over about a 7-year period, the highest was my MBA. Also a mum of 2 children, a girl and a boy. So juggling those tasks as well as the working life. I find this quite a difficult question actually, because I don't really perceive any challenges. I know, women in tech is perceived as a negative, but I can't really say that I've come across that in my working life. I suppose my situation is potentially different to yours in that I didn't go into tech. I went into business, which has ended up in a tech company. Whereas obviously you've stepped straight into women in tech. So it'd be interesting to see whether your journey's any different to mine. But I personally don't perceive any difference, and I've not really come across any difference. And I think that's a good thing with Intelisense as well, because as the company's evolved, I think myself and Emma have taken forward that mentality as well, and we don't see any difference in the people that we employ. It's down to the person, their capabilities, and what they're going to bring to the company and their attitude, not down to, whether they're male, female or anything else.
So it's just purely merit-based.
Exactly.
That's really
Yes, yeah. So if we're looking at this as a woman in technology, probably one of the things is creating that diverse organisation, albeit by accident, really, not planned. But even though I've not experienced these things myself, I'm aware that obviously the perception is of women being the minority within this business, and also the unfortunate circumstances that some women go through within working environments, to be fair. So I think Intelisense is the opposite of that. We've built a company that is open, we've got open communication, we've got diversity throughout the whole business for all tiers, and hopefully the people within it, if they ever felt that they had got a problem in that way, that they would be able to go to speak to somebody about it, and actually, that the management team would actually do something about it, because it's not acceptable and we won't put up with that. And I think that's one thing for women to realise, that if a company isn't that way with them, then really, they need to find a company that is that way. And Intelisense is one of those companies.
I think I agree 100%. The culture of the company as a whole, it just makes you feel very comfortable.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about. Intelisense is, the idea of it is to strive and to achieve as much as we can as a company and as individuals. And unless people feel safe in their own environment, that won't happen. Mm-hmm. That's part of the nurturing process to get the best out of everybody.
Absolutely. And I think compassion being one of the goals of this company, I think we live up to that as well.
Yes, definitely. We're taking on people that deserve the roles, and for the way that they their attitude, the way that they come across, the merits of their own qualifications and their own experience. But obviously, if we look at your situation, the latest apprentices that we've taken on, so there were 4, of which 50% of those are female. So if you look at that, then we're 50-50. But as a company, I think Intelisense is extremely diverse anyway. And I think that's something that we pride ourselves on, really. But it's not being done through a specific plan. That's just the people that we've actually recruited and the people that deserve to have those positions. So as we're, working forwards, I think we've got a good system now where we've got, different diverse people at different levels within the organisation, and those people are actually mentoring, it's the new people that we're bringing in, like so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten the chance to learn so much from my higher up, Oske. who's been such a wonderful mentor. And it's also very encouraging to see other women like you in different positions, knowing that I could be there someday. So it's just it motivates me and encourages me.
I think I'm immensely proud of where we are, where we've come from, and how it has evolved naturally. And I think as the years go on, you end up with different challenges in a different way. And I think you look back at things, and the things that you were proud of, 5 years ago are now different. And I think one of the big ones at the moment is the apprenticeship scheme. So obviously with the first ones that we had were Jake and Jamie, and they've now come literally the whole way through the process and are now solution architects. You can't have much of a better success story than that. And then now watching Jake take over that role and actually bring up his own apprentices, and actually stepping back now, which I think myself and Amo can start to do more and let everybody go with it and actually start doing that on their own, and that cycle being, a repetitive one that is working like a well-oiled machine, I suppose. Yeah. But I think that ethos that we've got, and the way that we've built Intelisense up, and the principles behind it, and the diversity that we've got, is something that's within everybody that's in the business. And I think that is continually to happen quite naturally, really. And that's really nice to watch. I'm very proud. Obviously, starting a company near enough from day one with Amo. The funny thing is that there was never a plan as to where we are now. It's just how it's worked out. I think that's probably the most exciting thing going forward now, though. We've now got an amazing team in place. We've got sort of an ethos inbuilt into people that are new recruits in the organisation, and I think sort of like a sticker rock that runs through the whole company now. And I think now's the time for Amo and myself to actually start working on the business with the proper plans as to where we want to go. And I think we're going to see a very steep curve in the incline of how Intelisense is going to grow over probably the next 3 to 5 years.
What are your plans for Intelisense with respect to women in tech for your future?
The plan will not change in terms of that. It's exactly the same as hopefully the message that I've put throughout this, scenario, really, that people that are employed by Intelisense are on their own merit, on their work ethics, their commitment to the organisation, not on what sex they are or anything like that. But in the same sense, we will want the same ethos to exist within the organisation, that it is a safe place for people to work, and we will not, put up with any discrimination of any format within the organisation. And hopefully that people coming on board like yourself, that will be evident to you, and that you will feel comfortable to be able to talk to us. Emma and myself aren't going anywhere, and hopefully one thing I would like to maintain is that working relationship with everybody in the business. It's important for us to all know each other and, have that working relationship with everybody.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think the one thing as an apprentice coming from my side is I hope that in the future also, everyone in the company stays just as approachable, and all the way up to the management.
Yes. Yeah,
and that works really well.
And that's everybody's responsibility throughout the company. So, Emma and myself have started this off, but we want that to continue down the chain. And as you progress, which, you will do, in the same way that the other apprentices have, for you to bring that with you as well.